we got a special guest. We got Chris Patrick, Chris Morangos. We got so many names, but what he definitely has is probably the best cosplay with Daredevil and Captain America that I've ever seen. And I met Chris at Fan Expo, one of the nicest guys, so approachable, which is the number one quality you need to have when you do cosplaying. And we just connected, and I was like, you got to get on the show. So without further ado, let's welcome Chris to the Evan edition. Chris, how are you, my friend? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Really, I'm just happy to be here and be in the presence of greatness, man. So this is exciting. We got so many topics to talk about. So really looking forward to it, man.
And you already got fans chiming in here, calling you the GOAT. And we're calling you the GOAT for a reason, because
Appreciate
right
that.
away, when you meet Chris, you can tell this is one of the kindest guys you're going to talk to. And the work that he does in his cosplay, it's all his personality and his passion coming out. And that's what you want in this space. But I'm no expert. I want to know more. Zach wants to know more. So I think we should just get into it and learn a little bit more about the world of cosplay, the hustle, the culture, and what it takes to succeed and also enjoy all that there is in this world. So without further ado, let's get into it. I just want to ask you, and before we talk about Daredevil, Captain America, I want to talk to you. Who were you before cosplay entered your life? Let's talk a little bit about the journey before cosplay entered your life. Tell us a little bit just like about yourself and maybe what led you to starting that cosplay journey.
Oh, that's a great question. Appreciate the time here, by the way. But before cosplay, to be honest with you, I was uh I was a hooper slash skater boy. Love my metal. I love basically anything pop culture related. But I was always passionate about anything superhero. Like, dude, I grew up on Tobey's Spider-Man. I grew up on Ben
Oh,
Affleck's
yeah.
Daredevil. I mean, that movie might get a little bit of critique, but I think it's one of the most underrated films of
Hey,
like
the
in the MCU.
director's cut, I think, is goated. They really messed up that movie. I don't think it was his fault, but if you guys haven't seen the director's cut of Ben Affleck's Daredevil, Chef's Kiss, Coolio has a
So
part in
much
it.
better.
So much better. But sorry to, I
No,
just
no, you're
got your
fine, man.
back with
I love the
Ben
support with
Affleck.
that, man. But just to name a few more, like Wesley Snipes and Blade, but just a kid from the Bay Area, loves anything comic related. I was definitely into pre-med, then changed into IT, then all of a sudden, I'm like fully dived into the cosplay content creating scene. So just really happy to be here. I won't take too much of your time talking. I don't like talking about myself, so this is definitely stepping out of my comfort zone. But yeah, that's who I
No,
am.
we appreciate you being here. I know it's hard, I don't take props well either, but you're going to get them. I want you to feel natural and I want you to
Yeah.
feel comfortable. Let's take a little look at some of your cosplay work, which is absolutely
Yes.
fantastic
Thank you.
as we
Thank you.
continue to talk a little bit. Um, do you remember the moment you realized cosplay wasn't just a hobby anymore, but something deeper?
Oh yeah, I could literally the second you asked that, I just thought about the exact moment. First time cosplaying back in 2023. Uh, it was Fanime in San Jose. My first time ever cosplayed was Captain America, the Captain America that I think we'll show later on in the show. But what really attracted me to this art, because I do believe it's an art form, is the connections I've made with people along the way. Going to that convention, I know only maybe like my friend and so forth that I went with, but seeing the people's reaction and especially the younger crowd uh, of the convention, just like their eyes like glistening and just like seeing a kid just be like, "Wow, that's Captain America." Can I get? I have kids calling me Mr. Rogers, a Cap, can I please get a photo with you? And I'm just like, wow, okay, so I really can make a difference. I can make an impact in this community. And ever since then, yeah, that's the suit right there. And ever since then, I've just been hooked on it, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love comics and everything related to it, but stepping out of my comfort zone and portraying some of the characters I idolize is what I love the most, and it's amazing, man.
Looks like a movie
That's
poster.
beautiful.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Zach. I appreciate that, man.
People see the final costume, but not the work. What does the cosplay grind actually look like when nobody's watching?
Oh man, there's multiple steps behind just putting on the suit and getting in front of the camera. There's brainstorming. Like every Friday night, Saturday night, I'm on my computer writing notes. I got Google Docs, just pages of ideas for content. Um, there's the lighting, the physical lighting and the background and how you really want something to come out on screen or on your phone or an image on an Instagram post, right? So everything is definitely taken into account. Uh, those are many factors that come into creating what one can believe is a great Instagram post or a great like a cosplay photo. So there's that aspect, but at the same time too, it's like putting your identity, putting your own individuality into the characters that you portray. Like anyone could put on a Daredevil suit, but like, you know, I bring a little bit of Chris Patrick into my Daredevil and I mix it with the ideologies that I share with them as well. So those are definitely some things that go behind the work and cosplaying as a whole.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
What would you say is the hardest thing about cosplay that a lot of people don't talk about?
Hmm. Honestly, is not focusing on the outcome and appreciating the work you put into creating said cosplay or creating a reel or any type of photograph, because I think a lot of people get caught up in like, man, when I post this, I really hope this gets like 1,000 likes or something like that. I I think that's something that I that is definitely one of them for sure.
People always see the finished product, and you described a lot of like the work
Yeah,
that goes behind
yeah.
it, the hours staying up, the research, all of it. Has there ever been a time where you thought of quitting, that maybe it wasn't for you, that maybe there should be something else, and something stopped you?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say quit because that's why Daredevil and Captain America are my number one guys because you can do this all day. You fall down, you get back up type of mentality. So quitting is definitely never an option for me. But there were times I've been discouraged. Like I plot out an idea, I thought it looks great in my brain, and I'm here in the studio, I'm taking pictures, and I'm like, shit, man, it didn't come out the way I wanted it to, and it's discouraging. It's like, damn, I just spent 2.5 hours doing that, and didn't turn out the way I wanted to. But you know, you go back to the drawing board and you try again. That's something that I always really try to preach, and hopefully the cosplay community that follows me follows along as well.
Yeah, something I really noticed about cosplayers is like they're perfectionists. You know what I mean? They're never done working on themselves and how they promote themselves and how their costume looks and the details. The details matter so much that you can tell where the passion lies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you put on a costume, especially Daredevil, do you feel like you're becoming a character or revealing a part of yourself?
I think in a lot of sense, yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm not gonna lie, when I throw on the Daredevil cowl, I feel I can go out there and just fight crime, man. I'm not gonna lie, but I know I shouldn't. but but yeah, no, without a doubt, it unlocks a level of confidence in myself, to be honest with you. Like shout out to Sumik, aka Pixelins on Instagram for this. This is a phenomenal edit. But yeah, just simply like this post right here, like this pose. When I took this photo, no, when my best friend Declan took this photo, like I felt another level of confidence that I never thought I could experience. Um, and it's through cosplay that grants me that. Like it's not even just like a security blanket. It's like an additional layer to my personality.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Why Daredevil? What does that character mean to you personally?
Um, just like I mentioned with the whole giving up thing I mentioned, when Daredevil's growing up, his father was a boxer, battling Jack Murdoch. gets his butt kicked every single time, but he's like punching, you're like punching oak, right? He gets back up every single time he gets knocked down. The same thing with Captain America. You know, he can do this all day, never giving up. And I I resonate with that because throughout my life, you know, not everything was sunshines and rainbows. I had to teach myself how to never give up, how to never, you know, feel less than when someone says something that's maybe not so polite and so forth. So these characters really bring like resonate with me in that aspect, outside of, you know, the radar sense and how badass they freaking look. But yeah, that would be my answer to that for sure.
I know you mentioned a few times, you know, that you've done Captain America also. Um, I'm wondering, you know, you mentioned there's similarities between Captain America and Daredevil and the fact that, you know, they don't back down, right, to bullies.
Mm-mm.
Um, but they're also very different than each other as well, Daredevil and Captain America. I'm wondering, you know, what attracted you to Captain America first, since this was like your intro into starting your cosplay journey?
He's always a Boy Scout, and if anyone who knows me in my friend group, I was always deemed the Boy Scout, always willing to do the right thing, always wanting to do the right thing. When someone comes up with like an idea that's kind of like daredevilish, I'm just like, wait,
Mhm.
should we be doing this? Should you know? I'm always just like, I'm always the good, the what is it called, the goody two shoes in the group, I guess you could say. But
Yeah,
but outside of all jokes and stuff like that, like Captain America for sure is what is truly the embodiment of the Sentinel of Liberty, and with everything that he stands for, the moral compass that he has, you know, sticking up for the little guy. Because I always, all my life, I've always felt like the underdog, and I wish someone, like besides my parents, of course, and my family, I wish someone would stick up for me, like Cap sticks up for society and everything that he stands for. So that would be my answer to that for sure.
that's really beautiful.
You
That's
know,
really beautiful. How long have you been cosplaying now? How long has it been?
uh, kickstarted it 2023, like full
Okay.
force.
So you're
Content
like 3 years
creating
now?
on it, yeah, exactly. Content creating though, more so like fully committed to content creating is last year, like late last
Okay.
year. Hmm.
Since you've been in it for a while now, and I'm sure you've met, you know, like really seasoned cosplayers to people
Oh yeah.
first starting their journey, and you've been in these communities, you've had these conversations. I'm just wondering for like, you know, the uninitiated, how has cosplay culture changed since you first started, since your contemporaries first started, especially with social media, conventions like Fan Expo, as you know, fan, you know, cosplay at those places, it's grown exponentially. Just wondering from your community, what have you and what have your colleagues seen?
Well, from 2023, what I can remember is I would say that cosplay and like any other community, there's always different aspects and variables to how a community grows. But the one part that I definitely want to highlight is how supportive this community can be. um you know, there's always competition, like, I mean, you think about any form of like art, right? There's always different types of musicians, there's different types of levels of musicians, people who've won Grammys, people who haven't won Grammys, or Grammys, I meant, yeah, Grammys, I'm so sorry. But I would definitely say what I've seen change and evolve with the cosplay community is the level of support that people have with each other and for each other. And I might just be speaking on my experience. It might not be the same experience for everyone across the board, but ever since I started cosplaying, that's been the one thing that I feel has been growing is whenever I put the suit on, whenever I interact with people that are fellow cosplayers, the support is, it's like, it's unwavering, and it's definitely unconditional. So at times unconditional for sure.
That's really beautiful. I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
what is, you know, is that the best part of cosplaying for you? Is the community, or is the best part when you have some like 6-year-old kid run up to you and you see and they see the hero and you it's reflecting in their eyes, you know, like to you, just from your overall experience over these past 3 years, what is the best part of cosplaying to you?
You nailed it. You said it, man. It's literally an equal balance of both. Because I went to LA Comic Con last year, and there was this little girl dressed up as Wonder Woman, and her little brother dressed up as Cap, and I was
Oh
done in my Cap
man.
suit, and literally I have never seen a little kid run so fast over to me, and it was just like, just like jumping, pointing at his mom, like, "Hey, can we get a picture, please, please?" And I'm just like, yes, that's like what I live for. But also too, like, the community is, it is the best thing in the world, in my opinion. Like, uh I'm thinking about every single follower that I have on Instagram, every person who supports me, likes, comments, shares, and even those individuals who uh, are part of this little Daredevil community that I'm growing. It's called the Council of Murdochs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's amazing to see that the people that follow me, they don't really know each other, and they're commenting and they're supporting me. And then I've created this cosplay community called the Council of Murdochs. And for me to see those individuals who don't know each other fully support each other, I it's wholesome. It makes my heart warm. It makes me smile. It honestly makes me more motivated to put out better cosplay content and be a better creator and a person in this community.
Why don't you describe a little bit of what the Council of Murdochs is, and how you came up with this idea?
The Council of Murdoch. I appreciate you, by the way, for allowing me to have the spotlight for the council.
Of
But
course.
the Council of Murdochs is a cosplay community on Instagram, where individuals who love all things Daredevil and the Daredevil universe can cosplay their characters, and we spotlight, like, this page spotlights them and shares an even spotlight. Because there are pages out there that's really, it's really hard to get, the recognition, and whatnot. And I believe that all these individuals put their heart, their effort, their brains and their mindsets to it, and it's just a beautiful thing to see, man. And yeah, it's just a place where all Daredevil cosplayers can come together and unite and share their love for our fearless leader. We call him our fearless leader, Daredevil, man. So it's amazing. Shout out to the Council of Murdochs. I love y'all for sure.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm a big Daredevil guy. I would say my wife and I, and she was not a Marvel person by any means. Before we met, she was like, "I've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp and Black Panther." I'm like, "These are completely out of order. What are you doing?" And like during the pandemic, got to show her everything from the Netflix shows, like all of it. And so she just has it on the background now. But we probably, just like with Friends, we probably cycle through season 1 through Born Again every year. I mean, like we really watch that a lot. I mean, to me, it's up there with as one of the best comic book TV series of all time, hands down. I want to ask, what is something that still needs to be improved in the world of cosplay?
I think we highlighted it earlier, or I highlighted it earlier, that I think a lot of a lot of a lot of people sometimes can get caught up in the aftermath of what you post, the statistics, the likes, the shares, and whatnot. Um, and I think that if you're able to really be motivated to create content without having that, like, that be the reason why you're motivated, I think everyone can produce a lot more genuine, pieces of art. And I would definitely say that's something that I think in all aspects of social media,
Mhm.
it could be improved upon for sure. It's just to really
Yeah,
not focus on the stats and really focus on the love for cosplay. Um, because I was recently talking to a buddy of mine. I think he's in the chat, Josh. Shout out Josh. Um, Once I start feeling that I'm focusing on that, I think I definitely will hang up the tights, because I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. I'm doing it because I love cosplay. I love the community.
that's awesome. Yeah, and you've noticed that some people kind of do it for the clicks instead
Eh,
of doing it for just the passion of these characters. And I know, you're such a nice guy that
oh, you're
you
too
want to
kind, man.
give
Thank you.
respect to the community as much as possible. You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but it's okay to say that you've noticed these things of some individuals within the community, while there are still plenty that put their full heart into it, and they could have 5 followers and that's all that matters to them. So I totally understand, and I know you're a little safeguarded when it comes to talking about this community because you respect it so much, and so that is completely okay. I want to go back a little bit. You mentioned that
Mm.
one interaction, but does anything stick out to you when I ask you what's the most powerful or emotional interaction you've ever had with a fan while in costume?
You know, I think I definitely think that I'm sorry to like divert the question, but it's hard because the most powerful interaction I've ever had with a fan is actually through social media. Because a lot of the people that I'm really close with, they live across the United States or they live in other countries, and this actually happened today. Like a few people have told me, like, you are a beacon of light in this community, and we need more people like you. Thank you so much for giving me the confidence, the motivation, and 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 like the even more passion to cosplay. And it makes me smile. I'm not gonna lie, I like got watery eyed earlier today, this morning when I read it, but that's definitely the most powerful thing that I've ever that one of the most powerful things that has been said to me or experiences that I've had with some fans. So I really, if they're watching this, they know who they are. And honestly, truly from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you guys.
Did that comment change how you view what cosplay can mean to people?
Always, always. Honestly, like cosplay is more than it definitely changed it definitely changed my perspective because cosplay could be more than just putting on a suit. It's impacting other individuals' lives in a positive way. We're all going through like obstacles in our life that none of us could know or some of us are experiencing right now. But if I'm able to be that positive impact on that person to, keep their chin up a little higher, to remember to be yourself, regardless of what the naysayers say, that's all I live for. That's what I do cosplay for. So
That's beautiful. Zach, do you have any follow up on any of the questions before we get into some fun rapid fire questions for Chris?
Yeah, I have two questions I want to ask. One is I've been wanting to cosplay for a long time, but whether it's resources or insecurity or fear, I just haven't done it.
yeah.
Um, and I really want to like do Static Shock. I think that's like the main
Oh,
one I
Oh,
want to do.
yeah,
But
man.
I have
sick.
two questions for you. One, for someone like me who has no base knowledge. I've seen cosplayers. I love anime and comic books, but I don't have any base knowledge on how to start.
Yeah.
What's your advice on someone that's just getting into it?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, this is what I did when I first started. I honestly just went on Instagram and searched my favorite characters and reached out. I just think if you reach out to the community, more so times than not, they are very welcoming. They are very, very accepting and very helpful. Shout out to my guy Austin Legay. He's honestly so helpful in a lot of things that I've done, as
That's
well as
awesome.
yeah, as well as a few other people. But yeah, that's the first thing. But at the same time, too, just honestly, like do what I did. Just take the leap, and if you really love it, if you really have passionate about characters, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't don the suit as well.
That makes a lot of sense. Just having that starting point, yeah. Message people. That's why I
Hmm.
did with doing YouTube. I messaged people and I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I need
Yeah.
advice on." So it makes sense to do with cosplay.
Yes,
So the
sir.
A lot
second
of
question,
similarities.
yeah.
Like
Oh, a
you
lot of
said,
the
there's
things he
a lot of
said here applies to all content creation, especially
yeah.
YouTube. Because me and you,
Really
we stress
cool.
over stats all the time, and sometimes it's like it gets overbearing, and it's you gotta just focus on the content and the passion for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
But when we stress about numbers, it's more because we know that like we have a safe space for people to truly be themselves and geek out and talk about the things and the
I love it.
movies and the shows and the characters that we love. But sometimes there's just so many, they don't know how to get to you. You know what I mean? So when we're like, why aren't they finding us? Like we're right here and we're not going to judge anyone because as you and I talk about all the time, Zach, it's like the conversations aren't because we always agree with each other. The conversations are because this stuff is subjective. It hits everyone differently. But as long as you can be respectful and have like a conversation about it, that is where the fun is. And that's where the passion is. And that's what we love about these communities. And I think it speaks the same with the cosplay community as well, which I love that transferability. And I didn't even really realize that until Chris started giving us this like true insight into this world. Zach, go
One
ahead
more
with your
question.
next question.
Yeah. So the last one is, going from starting out in like, what was that, 3 years ago now, really making some great Daredevil and Captain American cosplays. The costumes look great and the edits look great. You can edit really good and the costumes could still look like crap, but you made amazing cosplays. Like that's just amazing, right? That picture doesn't work if you didn't make a great cosplay. What is your dream one? What's the one that you really want to do badly and just have not had a chance, or maybe don't have the confidence yet, or maybe the resources? Because I know some of them are very expensive to do. What's that one?
Oh man. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. Is I actually am already working on my dream cosplay. It's a plan of mine that I'm working on, and it's gonna be the comic accurate, like white billy clubs, cherry red, head to toe Daredevil Silver Age Daredevil cosplay. Man, it's got to be that one. I know I've done the Netflix one. I know, the Born Again one. I have a little bit on my Instagram, but it's Silver Age, red suit. Get it? Stay out of Hell's Kitchen, red Daredevil.
That's sick. That's really
Love it.
sick. That's an awesome one.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's get into some rapid fire questions here. Just off the top of your dome, you can give a little insight if you want to. I know Declan has a question, and we will ask that in the rapid fire. Are you ready, my friend?
Let's do it. Ready as I'll ever be.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Where's my questions? No. All right. Let's do rapid fire. Fire, first instinct, no thinking. Let's get it. Ready?
Ready.
Captain America, Winter Soldier, or Civil War?
Oh, you starting off with that one? Winter Soldier,
sir.
for sure. Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier.
All right. Best Captain America suit, Winter Soldier stealth suit, or the Endgame classic with the scales?
Endgame classic with the scales, weathered. I gotta add the weathered part.
Weathered. I love it. Steve Rogers or Sam Wilson, and why?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I know of this. Oh, I would say Steve Rogers because I'm more so a fan of his. I'm not too familiar with the Sam Wilson run of the Daredevil of Captain America. So I'll play it safe. I don't want to burn any bridges here if I say Steve Rogers for sure.
Declan asks, who would win in a fight, Daredevil or Nightwing?
Okay, that's so funny. Okay, so there's two scenarios. Okay, first scenario, no tech, hand to hand, just straight hand to hand. Daredevil can hold his own for a good amount, but I think Nightwing will still come out on top of that. Respectfully,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Zach,
with tech, it's over. Just once he finds out that he's got the hearing,
that's true.
It's over.
Oh! You're saying without tech, Daredevil stomps Nightwing?
No, I'd say without tech, Daredevil holds his own, but still loses. And with tech, he'd still lose, and he'd lose quicker.
100% agree. I appreciate the fact that you can, because as a Spider-Man fan, favorite superhero, sometimes they put up against certain people, and I'm like, he's not winning that, guys. Stop. He's not beating Wonder Woman. So I like that you're realistic.
No, he's not.
About the character.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, honestly, man, like, Daredevil is even said to have a better sense than the Spidey sense, So
100%.
But I keep it 100. You asked me at Fan Expo if he beat Batman. I'm like, no, he ain't beating Batman.
All right. Netflix Daredevil or Daredevil Born Again?
Netflix Daredevil, easily. The darkness, the writing, the imagery, the storyline. No notes.
Charlie
No notes.
Charlie Cox Daredevil suit or comic accurate Daredevil suit?
Comic accurate. It's got to be comic accurate.
Okay. Who would win in a straight fight? Daredevil versus Captain America.
10 times out of 10, Cap is packing up Daredevil. Cap is packing him up. That
Woo!
Super Soldier Serum is too crazy, man.
All right. Captain America versus Batman. Prep time allowed. Who wins?
Prep time, he beat the Justice League, bro. He's beating Captain America. He's beating Captain America. Easy.
Batman
Okay,
takes down
maybe
Captain
I'm sorry.
America?
Maybe not easy like at first, but because Captain America is not gonna stop. He is not gonna stop till you actually put him down. So
He can do it all day. But then again, so can Daredevil. That would be a good fight. I would love to see that. All right.
what I do.
Here's some good ones, okay? Feel free to divulge a little bit more, okay? Best comic book movie of all time.
Best comic book movie of all time? Like superhero movie of all time? I would have to say The Dark Knight, man.
Okay.
I think The Dark Knight would be the greatest solo superhero film of all time. Comic book movie of all time. Yeah, for sure. But if you're talking about as a collective, Infinity War. That's superhero film. Yeah.
Zach, best comic book movie of all time.
Endgame. That's easy. I've been saying that for a long time. It just hit everything that you want in comic books for me.
Love it.
Yes.
I love it. I mean, we waited so long for the Avengers
and
Assemble, didn't we?
It had 25 movies to build up to that moment.
I cried all 3 hours.
Yes, sir.
I cry every Friday when I watch it now. But pretty much. All right, Chris, most underrated comic book movie of all time.
Oh, I gotta go with my Daywalker, Blade. Blade number 1.
Blade
number 1.
I love it. One MCU movie you think people will appreciate more years from now?
Oh, years from now? It's either Iron Man 1, or Winter Soldier for sure. Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine would be Ultron. That movie gets better like fine wine every year. Man, when they're at that party scene, getting drunk with Stan Lee. Excelsior.
The further you get from it, the more things played out from that movie. So when you go back, you're like, this is the beginning of all this stuff.
Yep.
It just
the
gets
more
better
important it was, right?
It's like the premonition that Tony has too with and everything. Yeah, I agree.
It's still coming, right? It might still be true. All right. Most overdone cosplay character, but done wrong most of the time.
I have to think about this one. So most overdone cosplay,
but it's mostly done wrong.
Done wrong. Done wrong could be
or
so
you
many
can just
things.
do most overdone cosplay.
Superman would be most overdone in my opinion. I think in terms of like my algorithm right now, as of what I'm looking at on Instagram, I'm seeing a lot of Superman cosplays. They all look fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, they all look great. I think it's just a lot of
I
people
also think Heath Ledger Joker. It's one of the most popular ones. It's definitely up there.
I think Deadpool is my number one for that. So many Deadpools at every con I go to.
But I love just seeing him pop up randomly, like when you're taking a piss at a con. You're like, it's like 10 Deadpools in here. One character you haven't cosplayed yet, but absolutely want to, besides the one that you mentioned.
Blade.
Blade.
Yeah, I had a long conversation with one of my buddies on IG, and I was like, am I worthy of donning Blade? And he goes, hell yeah, man, hell yeah. As long as you do them right, you're gonna look great as the Daywalker. So that's something that I'd love to cosplay as Blade for sure.
All right, last one. If Marvel called tomorrow and said, "Suit up officially,"
Yeah.
who are you picking?
Daredevil. I'm suiting up as Daredevil. I'll take the street
Let's
level.
go.
A street level Avenger for sure. Me and Spidey.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. All right, my friend. Well, like I said before, we really appreciate you coming on here, giving some insight into the world of cosplay, giving your experience, your passion, putting everything on the line like Captain America would do. And it was fantastic to hear. You guys, please comment below, ask questions, leave your comments, talk about his journey and the feedback that we got, because it was fantastic.